it's recording now.
Yeah,
Right.
cool.
When are you gonna clean up that neighborhood of yours over there?
Plant Greenwich neighborhood?
Yeah.
What are you talking
Across
about?
the street.
Hole in the ground.
Across the street from you.
Oh,
John says not my fault.
They changed the password, I guess.
Anyways,
Oh,
what's on here? Is this on?
like that?
oh yeah,
On.
there, that
Making
one's on.
progress slowly.
All right. well,
Slowly is a generous term.
Let me get kind of Leon, Grace, Dawn.
Where did you guys park?
The basement?
I had to park over on Drumheller.
Oh, if you go down Drumhill and like loopy around, it brings you here. But I can bring you back because you walked.
I was like, oh, I guess I'll just walk through the thunderstorm for a second.
Yeah, I get you back here. So, okay, well, we can get started. Does anybody need hard copy?
Excuse me.
Do you need hard copy? or-
Oh, boy.
Whoa. There. Give you this. And this. I think Leon's got his electronic copy, so
I'm good.
the agenda look okay.
Yep.
The minutes from I think our last meeting was the March meeting. So, that's what I distributed at least, so. Any,
Motion to accept as written?
yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Yeah, we're good. No public here. Judy emailed me saying she wouldn't come, she was a little bit worried about the weather. She said that she had questions or comments about the weed treatment, so we'll see what she has to say, but it's probably what we were discussing earlier. We'll talk about that. Ben didn't indicate if he was coming or going, so or not coming, so, don't have a township report. Action item list. Let me grab that here. So I did take a walk back on the dike, and it looked like there was less Phragmites out there than I had seen in the past. So I don't know if it had been treated or not, but, they usually treat it in the fall, so I'll take a peek.
Is there an herbicide you recommend? Cause it's not responding to Roundup.
We can check with Steve, if you want.
Oh, is that something he can do?
He can spray it, yeah.
Okay.
And he might recommend something.
Alright.
It's,
I'm sorry, are you using I forgot the name of
the chemical?
that you use you need to use with Roundup.
Yeah, I think there's like a surfactant that
Surfactant,
helps
that's it.
penetrate, and they usually treat it in the fall,
Okay.
but I don't know if do you have Phragmites there? That's that tall wispy, okay.
Yep, I had like 2 a few years ago, and then now it has like, its rhizomes are
Are starting to spread,
moving.
so it's
Yeah.
time to hit it.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me make a note here. So, yeah, and it's kind of it's in an interesting situation where if it's dry enough, you legally can spray it yourself. If it's in the water, it's twitchier. But I'll check with
A little
Steve.
bit of both.
Yeah, I'll check with Steve to see what he recommends doing
Okay.
for now. Sometimes too, just so it doesn't go to seed is cut.
Yeah, I'm making sure it's at least not going to seed, but
Yeah.
it's just not dying.
Yeah, no, it's a tough plant.
Yeah, yeah.
So coliform, actually hadn't checked to see if I don't know if any of you have checked recently. My wife's been commenting the swim buoys don't seem to be up.
They're not.
Yeah.
No, I keep seeing people saying like, are we not doing that this year, or?
I thought they put those up.
Not the buoys, yeah, no.
No, not even the like little perimeter that shows
Yeah.
you where to stay in isn't up either.
That's weird.
So I'll make a point to check to see if they're if they're monitoring, but
Those were donated by the Friends of Park Lake.
yeah, let me make a note here. I'll check with Ben about buoys. The lake monitoring, so Dawn has been doing
Yes, I have.
phosphorus, secchi, and I've done chlorophyll, so I think we're
Yep.
up to date on that. Actually, the turn-in is next week sometime.
24th.
Yeah,
I think I have paperwork right here.
yeah, so, and, I think noting, you know, the water clarity has been pretty marginal this year, and some of it may be wind, some of it may be the kinda, the effects of the weed treatment on releasing nutrients and plant fragments. So, we're up to date on that. Goose
Yeah.
management,
June 24th.
I don't know if I've seen but a
I have
couple.
not, that's, I was thinking about that today. I have not seen any geese at all.
I had like a little family that comes and hangs out in my yard every so often, but then I don't know where they go, cause I don't see them anywhere else besides when they're,
Yeah.
and I know that they're on the lake, cause their
Yeah.
babies weren't flying,
Yeah, There's a
so.
little bit of water on the other side, they might, you know, but then it goes up toward the highway, so. So I'd say it seems to be working. One thing, I think some of it, you know, their oiling worked. This spring, I did my usual go around the lake and look for geese nests, and I think I only found 2, and usually it's 9. And I did see a sandhill crane nest, and
Oh, you
then
did?
mallard nests, I think I found 3, and usually I find 1 at most. So the number of goose nests was very low, but we had a lot of like wind events and crazy weather events.
The sandhill crane, they don't normally nest right along the lake.
Not right along, but this one was, actually, if you go from the beach a little to the west, it was right in that little.
Oh, yeah,
It wasn't far in, I mean, it's up on relatively dry material, but
yeah, okay.
it was visible from my kayak, which is my rule for counting.
Okay.
So that'll end up in our annual report, but just, yeah, so I mean, it's good news in terms of coliform, but we'll have to see what the coliform is doing with the other kind of water level factors. The nature trail, I have not gotten any updates, and I imagine none of you have. And I know the last meeting, the township staff were recommending against it, period, I think, and it's
Forever?
I don't know. So I'll make a note, I'll check in to see where we're at, cause there was supposed to be a meeting that I was supposed to be invited to, which was supposed to happen.
You weren't.
So
Me too.
I will check on status. So, I think, when we get to the budget recommendation, we'll talk about that under new business. And then I haven't heard anything for the boat ramp parking area renovations.
That's too bad.
So, I think that's on the list of things to do, I just haven't heard, so, again, perhaps Ben will update us for the next. So that's, I think, where we're at on action items, so I think a few things to check with here.
I got a future action item list I'm getting across that was brought to me by one of my neighbors, a couple of my neighbors, actually. The guy in the swamp buggy boat
Yeah,
that circumnavigates the lake 100 times
yeah,
in a row when it can get to it. My neighbors are showing concern that, it's a nesting area, and he's going pretty close to,
yeah,
if not right on shoreline.
yeah.
Do you think that would be an issue, or is it something we should look into? I mean, I'd hate to think that we'd pass a law for that guy,
Yeah,
but you think maybe that guy could be spoken to?
yeah. So that's under, down below, we had something about monitor use of lake by motorized vehicles during, well, winter for conflict, but this is a potential
Yeah.
conflict.
I would consider it a conflict. I mean, when Spicer did their study, they were told a number of things that they couldn't do to disturb the
Yeah,
nesting wildlife, and there was I think they listed a couple of endangered plants that were back there, but I don't know that,
I don't know if we had.
I don't know if
plans.
the boat could have
We
it,
had the
could get
least,
back that far in.
but the least bittern was nesting, and it is there.
That was the kind of the biggie on Spicer's list, was that
Yeah.
least bittern.
Yeah,
And,
so-
from what I know about them, that's probably not the ideal thing for them to
No,
be
no, they're
subjected
pretty
to.
skittish, so. Yeah, I've seen that boat going around. I don't quite understand the, you know, if you're out scouting for duck hunting, that's one thing, but this is
Yeah, I know
just.
it's in the springtime though, it seems like he managed to go around just enough times to
Stir it
get
up.
somebody beyond the what's going on now thing, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
why is this guy doing this?
Yeah,
And,
so, yeah, worth at least chatting, see what's up, if we can catch him.
Yeah, I
Just
mean-
catch a meeting to talk.
Is it someone who lives around here, or just,
What's that?
is it someone who lives around here, do you know, or is?
I don't know who he is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
either.
see him out there duck hunting.
Yeah, he went out a few times, not a lot. He was
Yeah.
a real frequent duck hunter, but
Who does the night boat? Anybody know?
I don't know the names of the folks
And
there.
what do they
Carp.
do it?
Shooting carp.
Yeah, they're shooting carp.
Or, well,
Are you
technically
talking
they
about the
can.
people with the stadium lights?
Oh, yeah, with the
Yeah, they
brighter
like
than
hanging
the sun.
outside my bedroom at like
Yeah.
1:30 in the morning on a Tuesday. Like,
Yeah.
love that for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, no.
You know, I've mentioned to the folks up on the hilltop that they complained about that too. I'm like, you got electricity and you probably can afford the brightest light ever made. Give them some back.
Well, I'm just glad that they finally like switched to LEDs, because when it used to be the old lights and they had like the generator, it would be like really loud and really
Yeah.
bright.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now it's just like,
just
I get wakes me up and then I go back
I
to
don't mind
sleep.
checking my yard every once in a while in the evening, you know, but I don't need it all lit up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
I don't
know.
need to walk out there and throw a shadow.
Yeah, I don't need to read the fine print on my,
Yeah.
legal documents.
It's a funny story. I took a motion detector light LED with a solar collector on it. And I took it down there and was it yesterday or day before? I thought, I wonder where I could put this where if they come right in here and decide to camp out on those catfish, if they could be lit up, you know? And they don't like that sort of thing. I've gone down there in the middle of the night and snuck out on the end of my dock. Well, they were spearing right at the end of my dock and yelled, "What do you guys see?" Really loud. Guys in the boat were like this. Because they're in their own world.
Oh, yeah.
They don't, I mean, there's houses there and everything, but
Focused, yeah.
they don't see that. Anyways, I took this light out, I was gonna thinking about putting it up on my dock, you know? And I thought, and I hate lights at night anyways, and finally I just put it in my cooler.
You know,
I put it in my cooler and said, I'll think about that later. And then that night, JB called me and he goes, "What's going on with your boat?" The light comes on, and then the light tells the light that it's now daylight out, so it turns off. And it was flickering like at a high rate of speed, and
yeah, it's
the
true.
cooler was glowing.
That's funny.
It's pretty funny.
It is funny. No, well, but it's a worthwhile endeavor.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll I don't know if I'll catch the guy, just depends on timing, but it would be, or just seeing what's going on, because it does, disrupt.
Yeah, I mean, I said he goes around 20 times. He doesn't go around 20 times. He probably goes around 5 or 6, but still, you know?
Well, even he's way up in the swamp with that.
Yeah, when he comes by my house, he's kind of a little offshore,
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I've watched him when he's over there in the swampy
Oh, yeah,
area.
no,
He's
he
right,
gets
he's
right
right
up
into
there.
it.
Yep, oh, that's true.
We, 5 or 6 years ago, we had a guy with an airboat decide that he could take it through the cattails in the springtime.
Oh,
And I went over and had a little chat with him about how much we were gonna enjoy having that boat. Because he wasn't gonna own it anymore. And the boat went for sale. And we didn't see him anymore, so,
that,
yeah.
sometimes discussions work. So, looking at, new business, so the weed treatments this year, kind of I pull up my thing again, so, at least I had noticed, and I think probably most folks looking in the water has noticed that the weeds all the plants really got knocked back pretty hard in the lake.
Do you want the water level?
Oh, sorry, yeah, I skipped you, John, sorry.
We skipped John.
Not me, it didn't get into my cove, and then
Well-
all the dead plants floated in
Floated
and
in.
came back to life, so.
Yeah, that yours doesn't have a lot of water flow with
Yeah.
I see the water's just starting to go down, and that's exactly what you have.
There. So 2025, we are nearly.
We're low, it feels like we've been high this whole
No, it's
season.
this.
I set the bottom rails of
Yeah.
my dock right at water
Inch
level of
below
spring.
is
And I
full.
noticed yesterday it was,
Yeah, it feels like it's
Well,
been like
next week.
above full on my end of the lake.
Yeah, it's been pretty high. I mean, it had, this is the most recent, it dropped down a couple inches, but it had been above full most of the spring, huh?
Yeah.
Yep, been a wet spring, that's for sure. Yeah, John's got, so, a wet spring, but it's been, actually, we're right about on, but we were below, so we're catching up a bit.
And the snowfall pretty much matched until it stopped.
Yeah, yeah, it really did stop. So, oh, good, thank you, John. Now, we've got, yeah, the beach is pretty narrow. So, going on to the weed treatment, as I said, I kinda noticed it seemed like a lot of plants beyond the milfoil had taken it in the shorts, and, so I had texted, Steve, and so the chemical he used was FLUMIOXAZIN, assuming something didn't spell check it and change it on him. FLUMIOXAZIN.
T-I-N?
ZIN.
Z-I-N.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he said it
Would it took
dinged
much, they
him.
could've got all the letters in there.
Yeah, almost. It's like, the quick brown fox jump, that's how you use every letter.
Right?
So it says it dinged them up, but they will grow back, so.
Ding them up and they'll grow back. So then, how is that gonna work then? Is he gonna re-ding them later, or?
I don't know what he's gonna do for next treatment. He usually treats, kind of periodically, but it certainly knocked back like a lot of the lilies, and it looks like it really kinda knocked back a lot of the milfoil. So, yeah, and then just more, not on the weed treatment, he said, he had texted me Friday, June 6th, and he's been using a drone to kind of survey things.
Oh, yeah?
And he said he still saw bass on beds, June 6th,
Yeah.
which is late. He also showed me, apparently he has a drone that he can use in certain situations to deliver and deploy herbicide. It's got that big of a capacity to.
I talked to a guy out there, I think it was last week when I took the test. And he says to me, it looks like the bluegills are all done bedding. And I'm like, no, that doesn't sound right to me. I said, I don't think it's been warm enough. He says, the water's 65 degrees. Today it is, yeah. I mean, but it hasn't been.
No.
But,
I think they had a false start.
they did.
Back up again.
Yeah, and I've seen them do that before, but they're hitting it pretty hard right now.
Yeah, they were going pretty heavy, so I think, the kind of, the amount of weeds that had been killed, both the nutrients they release and just all the decaying matters really led to pretty poor water quality. I don't know if you walked in, Don, noted the clarity of the water measured by that disc was 4.5 feet, whereas that's like the least clear we've seen normally.
JB asked me if my safety disc was broke.
Yeah. They can get broke if they lose all their paint, beyond that. Or if your eyes go bad.
He said, what'd you do, repaint this thing black?
Yeah. So, I mean, the least clear we've had probably is about 6 foot, and then there's years it's 11,
Do you
12
think it's
feet.
just the pesticide treatment that's
I
doing it,
think
or-
that released a lot of nutrients and again, plant material. And so I've noticed fishing, there's more algae floating than kind of normal.
Oh, I have so much algae, yeah.
Yeah, and it's real bad over on, because it's been windy, so it's blowing it kind of toward our end of the lake, so. So, that was kind of the second limnology sampling, just to know, when I've been out for the chlorophyll, the water clarity. I got 6 foot when I did it last week. So.
Yeah, I got 6, I think I might have got 6, wait a minute.
You got the data
I
sheet right there.
I have it right here, I got 7 foot,
Oh, okay.
June 11th.
Yeah, so it's kinda, it's still, something's going on keeping it, and the wind certainly doesn't help, and who knows, even the carp kicking up stuff on that far end maybe, contributing.
Oh, yeah, I forgot, I didn't think about that. They are stirring the water up down there, and it's pretty muddy over there.
Yeah,
Are our carp like native ones, or is there any such thing as a native Michigan carp?
no,
Okay.
not carp, there are carp-like fishes. We have, what are called buffalo, but they aren't present in Park Lake. Then there's I don't know if is it a carp sucker? There's another, like, native minnow, but it would be in rivers.
Okay.
But those, you hear about Asian carp, which,
Yeah.
when they use that term, they usually mean there's a silver carp and a bighead carp. The ones we have are the common carp, which are native to Asia and Europe. And
Today was Joe's
they're
birthday.
all over.
Yeah, no, I grew up with them being all over by me, but I was just
Yeah.
wondering, cause they came in through rivers, and I was like, there's no risk, so I guess it must came on a fit, I'm in a bird someday or something.
Or somebody released them, or God knows what, how, but they're widely distributed and just, they are what they are. So the carp may be contributing to that, due to their spawning.
George Lehman in 1965, I think, put them in.
So, into Park
So,
Lake.
that's what I know about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, because he thought, this is what we need right here. So he took it up on himself to plant carp in Park Lake.
And once they're in, it's,
Yeah, and once
I mean,
they're
I
there,
enjoy them jumping out every so often, it adds to a nice sunset view,
there you
so.
go.
Our dolphins, you
Yeah.
know.
So I was looking, our next meeting's set for August 20. So that should work. I may or may not be available that day. I've got family visiting. I already know they're gonna be in town, but whether I'm available. The main thing I was looking ahead is we need to figure out the budget. I think on the budget recommendations, the request for 2025 is 33,075. So it said develop new budget recommendations July or August. So I think though we've kind of been looking at that number plus some percentage and,
Inflation.
yeah, seems to be working. I am interested though to hear from Judy, if she's heard from other people concerns.
have you heard anything about the work that they were gonna do at the boat launch?
No, so.
Well, your action item said that they put in the CIP that didn't get very high scoring, so it's not gonna,
It may come a different way, though, I
right,
think.
but
was my-
not in the near future.
It's probably not a thing, immediate thing. So I will check with Ben, though, on, what might be going on that we're, unaware of. Yeah. I think I did see Ben, he had a auto reply on his email, but I didn't remember if it spanned to today or not. So, I think today it's mostly just kind of updating, again, the kind of the low water clarity, some of the purpose of the meeting is so everybody hears about it, talks about it, because if neighbors ask, you have
Right.
some informed folks. The anticipation would be is that decaying material sinks, and as nutrients get taken up by other plants, the water should clear up some. So that would be my prediction, whether it comes true.
As the dead plants come back to life before
Yeah.
they're sprayed again.
Yeah. But, in theory, as they start coming back and it knocks them down, that, some of that'll get taken up by the cattails, which aren't gonna get knocked back, so. I'll keep in communication with y'all about August, the main item's the budget, so if I'm not available or minimally available, I think John is technically our associate vice
Correct.
chair.
Something like that.
Yeah, so, but we'll
Are
see.
we scheduled for September, October, November then, after that?
I haven't looked ahead that much, and I think you know, I think at one time we were talking about doing every other month, and, you know, kind of as needed. I think we skipped May, we might have skipped April too.
We did for some reason.
Yeah, so we here we're, you know, kind of June, meet in August, you know, maybe October would be
So
good.
probably not September?
Yeah, we can kind of plan ahead.
Okay, I just need to know for my schedule.
Yeah. Okay, and I'll make a note. So, other than that, I don't know if folks have other things to bring up.
Alright.
And then I'll can swing by my house and get the date
All right,
sheets.
right.
Or do you want me just to get them to you tomorrow?
Oh, I can get them, no problem.
I gotta just
I
go,
gotta go right by there anyways.
pretty much. Yep, so, all
Is
right.
it-
Yeah, are you building a mother-in-law suite out there, by the way? I saw you
No.
got some construction going on.
Here, we can turn off the recording.
Yeah.